Yo, what's the dealio, y'all? Hey, listen, check this out, man. I got a straight banger for you today, all right? Every single day, I'm coming to you with life changing information to help you get better at learning how to trade stock options, all right? So, in this video, I'm gonna be talking about the one L that I took today, and this snaps my winning streak, all right? I haven't taken an L in about, I wanna say like week and a half. I've been doing my thing lately, but today, I took an L on Alibaba, and we're gonna talk all about it. All right. So to all y'all people talking about where your losses at, show your L's. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I realized is people want to see you lose, man. And at the end of the day, when you know how to set your stop loss, when you have discipline, I'm not gonna lose $10,000, $8,000. You know why? Because I know how to set my stop loss, and I am in control of my emotions. All right. So on this trade, I lost 6% on the trade. Not a big deal, right? So let's go through it. As you can see right here, we got Alibaba, right? Lost $64.52. I got four contracts. Each contract was 235, and then I sold out at 219. Okay, and I was in this trade for 7 minutes. All right, and I lost $64. That is a 6% loss. All right. I've been going real hard on stop losses lately because I want you guys to ensure that you're using your stop loss. All right. So I'm gonna show you guys the trade, but before I show you guys the trade on the charts, understand this: a stop loss is here to save you. Okay. If the stock starts going in the opposite direction fast, you may not be able to get out at the price that you try to get out at. Right. When you set a stop limit order, when you set a stop limit order, you will be in control of how much you lose. All right. That's why I want to make this video. It's about lessons. Okay. This is about lessons. All right. So I had Alibaba on my watch list. I planned out the trade. It just didn't go how I thought it was going to go. But it's going to do it later on today or tomorrow. And watch. And this is what I'm telling you. This is a lesson right here. All right. So check this out. So right here we got Alibaba, right? We got Alibaba. So this is the pre-market high right here. Okay, this was my resistance level right here. I said if we break above and close above 119.05, then I will get into calls. Just yesterday, we were right here at 120.64, right? And you can see that we rejected off of that level right there. So we rejected, came down hard. And so I know that we're gonna retest this level at some point in time. Now, this is a bull flag, right? So this is a bullish pattern. Okay. But here's what happened. So Alibaba off the 15-minute opened up, wick down here, came down here, came back up, came up, right? Then it came up right here, wicked right here, boom. It was not at my level yet, right? It was not at my resistance level. And then this candle right here, boom, 15 minutes, it shot up, right? It bounced off of this 50 EMA and also the 200 EMA right there, right? So it bounced up there. So then I was like, all right, cool. It's been it's been 45 minutes since we've been in the market. This was my first trade of the day, right? My first trade of the day. Now, my first trade of the day, and we 45 minutes in the market. So I'm like, all right, perfect. This is a good setup. We've been kind of consolidating and going up and down a little bit. Now I see a clear direction. I know what my price target is, right? I was going to ride it up to right here, 119.81 from right here, okay? So about 120. So that would have been about 70 cents right there, 60, 70 cents. That would have been a nice 15, 20% trade right there. If I would have cashed out right here, if I would have let my runners run and it went up here, then that would have been like a 80%, 100% trade, right? So that was my plan. So it broke above resistance right here, closed above it, and then right here, it was kind of stuttering a little bit, came down a little bit, it started to go up. I took my entry, right? I took my entry. I'm gonna show you guys. I took my entry right here. Okay, right there. All right. So that was my entry point. entry. All right. Now, every time I get into a trade, I immediately set my stop limit order. Okay? I immediately set my stop limit order. So I set my stop limit order. I said as long as we are you can look at it as two ways. As long as we hold above right here, we're super good. We're super good, right? Now, if we come down here, I would still be willing to hold it. So what ended up happening was my stop limit order was literally about right here. Okay, so entered in right here. It came down right here, came down right here. And then literally, because my stop order was already set, I just got stopped out. Okay, so I got stopped out right here once I knew that it was going in the opposite direction. But all it did was it came down to the VWAP. So at no point in time did it break below the VWAP, right? So it's been bullish the whole day. Honestly, it just, my entry was off on this one, even though it broke above the resistance level right there, right? So I'm gonna type in stopped out right here. All right, boom. Type in stopped out right there. So boom, right? So I lost 6% on that trade, and that was $64. Now, what I could have done was I could have either added right here, but I didn't want to be down 11, 12% around this area because it could have kept going, and then I could have been hoping that it reverses, and it don't do that, right? So I got stopped out right there. I was okay with that loss. And then I could have got in right here. If I would have waited more, I could have got in right here and then rode it back up, obviously, right? And then it would have been a really nice play, okay? But it came down and bounced off the VWAP. Now, I've seen this before where it broke above and it didn't come. It just went straight to the top, right? So because I've seen that before, I was like, okay, I'm going to get in right here. It broke. It might come down here to retest. It came down here, tested a little bit, started coming back up, and then it started to fail, and then it started to come back down. All right. But as you can see, I was right on this play on the day, okay? On the day, because this is a bull flag. Later on today, it looks like it's getting ready to break out right now. Later on the day or tomorrow, it might gap up tomorrow. If it doesn't break out today, it is going to gap up tomorrow. And I'm pretty confident in that because that's just what the patterns do. So as long as we can break above like 119.46 or even 119.41, then we gonna be going up to 120. All right, at least 119.81. Okay, at least 119.81. But this is a bull flag. It's going in this direction. It just didn't go into that direction immediately like I initially thought it was, right? And I just did not want to hold it throughout the day because if I would have held it throughout the day, I would have probably been at like break even right here, right? So I would have held it for what, 4 or 5 hours, and then I would have just ended up break even. And I didn't want to do that. So I was willing to take a 6% L simply because I know I could re-enter once this does break out of the pattern that it's showing me right here. So it wasn't fully a wrong play. It was just the wrong timing in the play. Okay. So yeah, with that being said, every play, whether you win or you lose, is a lesson. All right. Because all I see with this is, all right, sometimes what happens is when you're in plays, depending on when the breakout happens, it may not just go straight up, right? If a stock is going crazy within the first 15 minutes, it may just have that energy and it just may have that momentum and it might just blast off, right? But what about later on in the day? It might go up a little bit, come down, consolidate, and then go up, right? So it's really about learning the patterns of these stocks and really understanding like how the breakouts work, how they happen, when they happen, and all of that stuff right there. All right. And you're never going to only learn from your wins. You're always going to learn more from your L's because you're paying more attention to the L because nobody wants to lose. All right. But the biggest thing is you got to make sure you set your stop loss. You have to make sure you set your stop loss. I cannot emphasize that enough. New trader, experienced trader, intermediate trader, I don't care. All right. Everybody thinks about how much money they want to make per trade, but they don't want to think about how much money they're willing to lose on a trade. And you also have to be able to manage your expectations, okay? Manage your expectations. Every trade is not going to go perfect. All right. If you think every trade is going to go perfect, you are going to be in for a surprise, and your emotions are always not going to be good and they're not going to be regulated. Okay. There is a chance that every trade you take could go in the opposite direction. And you have to be okay with that. And you also have to accept that risk. All right. So, with that being said, that is the trade of the day. Like I always say, make sure you get out of your head, go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live, all right? And also remember, the more you study, the less you worry. I'm going to see you guys on the next video. Peace.